of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. That line, it just instantly pulls you in, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Instantly recognizable.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a true legend, the 1942 film Casablanca.
And our goal here really is to unpack why this film, 80 plus years later, isn't just considered a classic, but genuinely one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, what makes it still resonate so much? We've been digging into some great analysis to figure that out.
Exactly. We want to give you those essential insights.
Okay, so for anyone maybe needing a quick refresher, Casablanca. It's a romantic drama, also a war film. Runs about 102 minutes.
Directed by Michael Curtiz for Warner Bros. Back in 42.
And picture this. You're dropped into World War II. The city is Casablanca in Morocco. What's that place like? What's the feel?
Oh, it's intense. Think of it as this real hotbed. You've got refugees desperate for escape, spies everywhere, loads of political tension. It's like this waiting room, this purgatory, where every move, every conversation could be critical. Life or death, or maybe freedom. It's the perfect backdrop, really, for the story.
So incredibly fraught. And who are the key people caught up in all this?
Well, at the absolute center is Rick Blaine, Humphrey Bogart. He's this cynical American guy, an expatriate running the famous Rick's Cafe American.
It's a gin joint.
The very one. And his whole world, this carefully built neutrality he has, it just gets shattered when his former love, Ilsa Lund Ingrid Bergman, walks in.
But there's a complication.
A big one. She's with her husband, Victor Laszlo. He's a famous resistance leader, a fugitive, very noble figure.
And boom. Right there is Rick's huge dilemma. This choice he has to make between love, his personal feelings for Ilsa, and virtue, doing the right thing, helping Laszlo.
That's the core conflict, yeah. It drives everything.
So this love triangle set against the war, what makes this one so compelling, so enduring compared to others?
Well, I think what's fascinating is how it takes that classic struggle, love versus duty, and just elevates it. It's not just some simple romance problem.
Right.
It's filled with genuine moral ambiguity. Because personal happiness isn't just put on hold. It often has to be actively sacrificed. The film really grounds this big idea of the greater cause in this desperate, immediate, morally complex situation. So it feels less like a cliche, and more like this gut-wrenching, unavoidable choice they all face.
That kind of quiet agony beneath the surface, yeah, that really makes it powerful. Now, Casablanca, it's definitely a romance. So you said it's also deeply political. How does that setting Casablanca as this sort of purgatory for refugees, how does that amplify those bigger themes like displacement, moral choices?
Oh, completely. The film doesn't just say it's a dangerous time, you feel it. Casablanca itself becomes almost like a character, this place where people are stuck, exactly, trapped between the lives they left and this totally uncertain future. And visually, you see it all the time, people clustered together, anxious faces, always looking around.
Yeah.
And the plot reinforces it, too. The fake exit visas, Captain Renault's police watching everyone. It creates the suffocating feeling of being caught in the currents of World War II. It's not just about getting away from the Nazis. It's about getting out of that limbo state.
And right in the middle of all that moral pressure is Rick Blaine, Bogart's performance.
Yeah.
It's just a masterclass in that cool detachment. You mentioned his journey from indifference to moral clarity. What moments really show that transformation for you?
Well, it's gradual, which is why it's so believable, I think. He starts out with that famous line, "I stick my neck out for nobody." Very cynical.
Right.
But you see these little cracks appearing, like when he helps that young Bulgarian couple at the roulette wheel. It's quiet, but it's generous. Or his defiance when the German officers start singing their anthem and he lets the band play La Marseillaise. That's a turning point.
A powerful scene.
Definitely. But the real culmination is that final scene at the airport. The famous, "Here's looking at you, kid." He actively pushes Ilsa towards Laszlo, towards the greater good. That's the moment his cynical shell is completely gone. He's willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, the cynical lines feel more like armor by the end, don't they?
Exactly. Armor that's finally been shed.
Okay, and speaking of iconic things,
Oh.
the music. As time goes by, Dooley Wilson playing Sam at the piano. It's so much more than just a song in this movie.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the film's heartbeat.
What gives it that unique symbolic weight? Why is it such a trigger?
It's the ultimate emotional cue, isn't it? It's not just their love song, it's like a time machine.
No.
When Ilsa asks Sam to play it...
Play it, Sam.
Right. It doesn't just remind Rick of their lost love, it throws them both back to Paris, to a time before the war, before everything got so complicated and dangerous.
A lost innocence.
Precisely. Lost love, lost innocence, lost time. It symbolizes what could have been. And that reinforces the whole nostalgic, almost tragic mood of the film. It makes their sacrifices feel even heavier.
It really anchors the emotion. But beyond the feelings, Casablanca is just brilliantly made. Let's shift gears a bit to the cinematic craft, its impact. Starting with the performances. We've talked Bogart and Bergman, but the whole ensemble.
It's incredible. The brilliance is how every single actor, even in a smaller part, feels so perfectly cast and brings such depth. Bogart, of course, defines that kind of anti-hero. Bergman is just luminous, so emotionally torn. You feel her conflict.
Yeah, I do.
And Paul Henreid as Laszlo, he plays him with such dignity, such quiet strength, that you actually buy Ilsa's impossible choice. You understand why she's with him.
Yeah, he's not just a plot device.
Not at all. And you absolutely cannot forget Claude Rains as Captain Renault.
Yeah.
Charm, wit, but also that slippery moral ambiguity. He's fascinating.
He steals scenes.
He really does. And even Dooley Wilson as Sam or Conrad Veidt as the chilling Major Strasser.
Yeah.
They all leave such a mark. It's perfect casting down the line.
Truly an amazing ensemble. And behind the camera, Michael Curtiz's direction, the visual storytelling. You mentioned deep shadows, foggy runways, symbolic lighting. Can you give an example of how that creates the atmosphere?
Curtiz was a master at using light and shadow to reflect what's going on inside the characters and the film's murky morality. Think about Rick, how often he's shown in shadow, especially early on.
Yeah, half his face hidden sometimes.
Exactly. It mirrors his hidden past, his cynicism, and then that iconic foggy runway scene, the spotlights cutting through the fog. It's not just cool looking, it perfectly captures the uncertainty, the danger, the hope and fear of escape.
Visual poetry almost.
It really is. And he uses close-ups, these intense close-ups on Rick and Ilsa to heighten that romantic tension, that unspoken feeling, then pulls back to these wider shots that remind you of the war, the bigger context. Every shot feels intentional.
And the dialogue.
Yeah.
Just as intentional and legendary. We started with one iconic line, but there are so many. Here's looking at you, kid. We'll always have Paris. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. They've become part of our culture.
They really have.
Why? What makes these lines stick so much?
Well, partly it's the perfect delivery, the context. They're concise, they're emotionally packed. But I think it's more than that. They tap into these universal human feelings: love, loss, memory, sacrifice, hope. Here's looking at you, kid. It's goodbye, but it's also affection that lasts. We'll always have Paris. It's about cherishing a perfect memory, even when the present is painful. They're almost like little bits of philosophy about life.
That's a great way to put it. No wonder the legacy is just unmatched.
Yeah.
Academy Awards in 43, Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, consistently ranked as one of the greatest films. National Film Registry. What does all that tell us about its ongoing influence?
It tells us it tapped into something truly timeless. It kind of set a gold standard for blending genres, that mix of romance, thriller, war film. Its complex characters, especially Rick, influenced generations of anti-heroes.
Sure.
And in pop culture, the lines, the moments, they're instantly known, parodied sometimes, but always with respect. And even politically, its themes of moral choice in wartime, individuals versus huge forces, they still resonate. It gives us a way to talk about difficult choices.
Without being preachy, as you said.
Exactly. It never feels like a lecture.
So, if we pull it all together, why does Casablanca still work its magic today? What's the essence?
I think it boils down to a few key things, those universal themes.
Right.
Sacrifice, love, courage, finding your moral compass, they just don't get old.
Right.
Then you have these timeless characters who feel real, flawed, relatable, you understand their impossible choices. Add to that the sheer cinematic craftsmanship, the direction, the writing, the acting, the look of it. It's just top tier.
Unmatched, yeah.
And finally, that haunting mood, that tension between what people want personally and this huge global crisis swirling around them. It just creates an experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll.
So to recap, Casablanca's enduring power really lies in that incredible blend of romance and politics, these unforgettable characters, and just masterful filmmaking.
Perfectly put.
Okay, so here's something for you, our listeners, to think about after this deep dive. Casablanca is often called a flawless example of Hollywood's golden age. It tackles huge themes, war, freedom, sacrifice, but through intensely personal stories. So what does it say about us, about human nature, that we're still so drawn to these stories? Stories about making hard choices for the greater good, even when love, maybe the most powerful personal feeling, is right there hanging in the balance, something to mull over.